Good morning, Fin fans. It's a new day here at the Fin's Tailgate. I'm your host, Ali the Persian. It's 6:04 a.m. in the morning. Good morning. How's everybody? This is top of the tailgate hour for you. So it's a brand new show if you didn't hear. Our first episode was yesterday. If you didn't hear, this is a brand new morning show here on the Fin's Tailgate Network. We'll be talking Miami Dolphins. We'll be talking NFL. We'll be talking sports in general, a little bit of everything. We'll have some guests eventually. We got a lot going on, a lot coming up, a lot of announcements to make, a lot to talk about. Today is June 1st, and that's right. It's the June cuts. People are going to start getting cut. Cap spaces are going to start being open. And we're going to ride this roller coaster right in the training camp. Currently, it's 6:05 a.m. and it's 79 degrees in Miami, Florida as of 5:30. That was the last update. Today's high is high of 84, low of 74. Currently, it feels like 84 with 84% humidity. There is a 70% chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. And then in the evening, it drops down to about 42% chance. I'd say there's a high chance of rain today, unfortunately. But yeah, top of the morning to you, top of the tailgate. Let's go. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see Steve, USMC up in there. Dudfins. Still waiting for Ali to admit he was wrong for insisting I said I wanted Bills to keep Edmonds. Actually, I'm not wrong, Dudfins. That's good that you brought up. Let's talk about that. So, just so you're aware, FYI, there are a lot of hours of videotape to go through that we record here at the Fin's Tailgate. In each episode, it doesn't help if it's anywhere from 5 to 8 hours long, trying to find exactly where he said it. It's coming, Dudfins. It's coming, Michael K. Don't worry, it's coming. Shout out to YouTube member Banana. I like that. I like your little icon there too. That's a shout out. Thank you for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. While we're hanging out, we're waiting on Color here. Let's do the rundown real quick. So while you're waiting, hanging out with us, or maybe we have a commercial break, check out some of our other content we got out there. We got El Capitan, Color, doing shows every other day of the week. Color's going to be doing morning shows primarily with me, and a cup of coffee with Color and stuff. Afterwards, you got me Monday through Friday with the morning show. I also record broken takes, usually weekly. This week I didn't do it. That's okay because I wanted to get this started. Then we got DTA, who's on furlough, but check out some of his previous content. Lewis the Rabid Dolphin here on the Spaces, doing stuff here. Check out his shows and content that he's put out. And then you got Shake Money, the Madman. Shake Money is the madman. Check out Shake Money. He's all over the place. Doing drive time, traffic jam, Saturday nights. We'll be bringing Late Night Exhale with myself back on the beginning of the season. That's what's going to be going on with my show. Also, if you'd like to donate to the channel, make sure you check out Cash App, Venmo, or we accept super chats. Definitely, or super stickers. Also, hit the like button, subscribe. You could also become a member. We have 3 different memberships: Amigo, Familia, MVP. Definitely check that out. You get extra content, cool emojis to use, little badges and stuff. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that. Check that out. And also, while we're waiting, let's have a little shout out to our affiliates.
New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics, officially licensed everything.
Yeah, check out Fanatics. Use the link below. It actually helps out the channel. There's a lot of great deals to be had at Fanatics. They have 100% authentic licensed gear. They have jerseys, hats, pretty much any sport you can think of. Different memorabilia, any of that flair stuff you like to wear when going to the games. You want to know where I get my draft hat like I'm wearing right now? It's Fanatics. They always got deals going on. They always have different stuff going on. I would really recommend to check them out. While you're also hanging out in the description, you can also check out Backroom Collections. Backroom Collections, if you like awesome, like you want something awesome and unique, check out Backroom Collection. They got this awesome canvas artwork that they do. They also do custom work as well. Not just for the Dolphins, but some other sports. And they also have certain accessories for those like little mini helmets that everybody collects. Definitely check them out. They got some really cool stuff, and you can pretty much put it in any type of room: bedroom, office, place of business, sports room, you name it. Classroom. They got a lot of stuff in there. It's pretty dope. So definitely check that out. You can use code TFTG at checkout to save 10% off of your backroom collection. Also, you can check out W Energy Drink. Doobie, Dubby, not sure how that works, but everyone says it a little bit differently. But check out W Energy Drinks. They got some cool stuff. The science behind them is they have a lot of vitamins and minerals that affect the brain positively in their products. Helps with focus and concentration. It doesn't have any of that artificial sugars and stuff that really harm the body or anything. Also, they claim that you don't get the crashing or the jitters that you normally do with some of the stuff that you do with some of the other products out there. Um, Also, that being said, but thanks. Check out Shake Money's video. He has a video that he's put out of him trying it out and whatnot. He can give his review, so you can take his word for it as well. But shout out to all of our affiliates. Make sure you use the links below in the description. We definitely appreciate it. Let's see who we got up in here. Yeah, I know Michael K saying save me time. He's never said it. Yeah, you did. You and Amicus made different claims. I will find those clips and we will put those up. No worries. It's just a lot, hundreds of hours of video I got to go through. You got to remember, I got to go all the way back to the beginning of the off season, right before free agency, because that's when I believe you said it. So I have to go from here and all the way till then to find all that video. But that's okay, Michael K. Keep thinking that you didn't, because it'll come to you. Okay, because it was a specific conversation about who would you rather keep, Poyer and Edmonds. So that was where the conversation went. But that's okay. It's all right, Michael K. We'll talk about that later. Let's on with the show. So, but make sure you hit like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. Let us see what's going on up in here. So, yeah, today is June 1st, the NFL day for cuts. You have a lot of players who have already been designated. More could come. If you didn't know, um, basically the cuts, how it works, June 1st is so crucial to the NFL because of the impact that cutting players after that date changes as it relates to the salary cap. Meaning before June 1st, any remaining prorated money or player contracts, uh, um, contract accelerants onto the cap in the year they are cut or traded. That changes after June 1st, however. If a player is released or traded after June 1st, no further prorated money accelerants onto the cap. Instead, that money accelerants onto the following year's cap. So basically, it has a way of saving that money for the current year. So, for example, for 2023, we'll use Byron Jones as an example. Okay. By cutting him June 1st, the Miami Dolphins save approximately $13.5 million approximately. I want to say it's here it is, $13.6 million, right? And we only take a dead cap of 4.7 million in 2023. At the same time, by cutting him now, We're saving 8.7 million in 2024, but we're also accruing a dead cap of about $10 million as well. So it helps you push back money as well as save money for the current year to open up cap space. Um, this is a very common practice that teams do every year. That being said, a lot of names already, I believe it's about 5 teams have already designated players. About 8 players have been designated June 1st cuts. Examples would be Broncos, Brandon McManus, their kicker. He's a June 1st cut. Jadeveon Clowney, defensive end for the Browns. That's a big name, actually, right there. Here's another big name, John Johnson, safety from the Browns. J.J. Watt, defensive end of the Cardinals. Rodney Hudson, center for the Cardinals. Chase Rouillier, the center for Commanders. That might be a name to take a look at least keep an eye out for him. Ezekiel Elliott, yeah, it's a big name. And then Byron Jones. These are guys that have already been designated June 1st cuts. So as of today, they have been cut. So, and that the respective cap space for those teams have opened. Now, let me go here and see if they've updated the salary cap so I can give you guys updated salary cap information. Uh, let's see here. Mm. No, it doesn't look like they've updated the salary cap. I was trying to give you an updated look. Basically, from my understanding, we'll have roughly about $14.5 million available to us based on what we have currently. But that's how much it opens up essentially. So, what will we do with that? That's a good question. So, things that we could do with that is we could go with offensive linemen, as I spoke with yesterday. We could go with, running backs. I still think defensive tackle might be a position we might address. A lot of people are touting the table for Dalvin Cook, which we'll see if that happens or not. There's some former Super Bowl champion says that he believes Hopkins will play for Miami. I don't know about that. That's a good one, but I don't know. I don't think that happens. I think he's more likely to go to either a Kansas City or maybe a Bills team. Um, Maybe even a Ravens. That's actually the dark horse team that I think they could sign him actually. So we'll see about that. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Odds we go after Cook. I'm gonna say it's a 50-50 shot right now, TPP, and thank you for joining the channel. Lewis Summit, top of the morning to you. Definitely. And shout out to Steve USMC, became a YouTube member. Thank you very much. Appreciate your membership, bro. Definitely. Thank you. Thank you to all the members. We wouldn't be here without you guys, to be honest. People are still waking up. People are joining top of the tailgate. Want to get this party started. So thank you for joining the channel. Let's see what else is going on. All right. Here we go. Waiting for color to join so we can get going here. All right. But while we're hanging out and talking, I'm going to start giving out some information. So, Cause for Cleats. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you used to watch our shows back in the day, especially TMI Tuesdays, we used to talk about Cause for Cleats. We're going to talk about today's Cause for Cleats. Yesterday, if you didn't catch it, we were talking about Alex's Lemonade Stand, the charity foundation for Cure for Kids Cancer. Definitely check that out. But you can go to Alex's Lemonade stand.org to get more information about that. Today, we're going to be talking about Brandon and Bradley Chubb's foundation. It's called the Chubb Foundation. The Chubb Foundation was founded by two brothers, Brandon and Bradley Chubb. The brothers grew up in Marietta, Georgia, with their two parents, Aaron and Stacy Chubb. From a young age, Brandon and Bradley were introduced to a football and sports alike. Their father, Aaron, was an all region athlete at Rockmart High School, a defensive standout with the University of Georgia Bulldogs, and drafted in the NFL by the New England Patriots. Yeah, we're familiar. The boys wanted nothing more to be like their father and follow in their footsteps. Their mother, Stacy, is an athlete too, as she has completed and still does um, competed in numerous marathons, half marathons, and triathlons. Wow, I did not know that. There was nothing short of competition in the Chubb household. Stacy also volunteers for a nonprofit organization called Back on My Feet that helps people literally get back on their feet after unfortunate circumstances where she was a volunteer of the year in 2016. That's pretty interesting. What their mission is at the Chubb Foundation. The mission of the Chubb Foundation is to activate human potential. That's pretty interesting. Um, essentially, let's see. Basically, what they say is they partner with Active Youth Academy annually for our 10-week entrepreneur course, moving the needle, affecting change through entrepreneurship. In the course, students are tasked with developing a business idea that has a community impact in some way. That's during the winter and spring. They do moving the needle. They have other various different things that they have. There's a summer annual youth football camp that they do. Basically, from my understanding, their foundation is based on helping people get the right start as well as, um, getting them in a position of business-like mind to be able to help develop their own, what's the word I'm looking for? Develop their potential and increase their potential going forward of being successful. Um, and it also goes on to say the mission of the huge fund is to activate human potential, whether it's coaching a camper's efforts on the field or challenging the student in the classroom. From their early stages of the foundation, Brandon and Bradley knew they wanted to come up with solutions to problems their communities faced, but it wasn't until through thought-provoking conversation with a mentor that sparked the inception of the Moving the Needle program. The Chubb brothers identified the lack of entrepreneurship as a subject taught in schools at a young age and made their their sole focus. We believe entrepreneurship is important at such a young age. We want to plant the seed early and better these kids' futures. Interesting. Really interesting. Shout out to Brandon and Bradley Chubb. Shout out to them. What's going on? Let's see if Color's on location yet. Color, are you available? Still in the background? Guess we're still waiting on Color. Color might be having some technical difficulties. We don't know yet. Let's see. What is on? What's up, Scummy? Thank you for joining. This is not Nuggets Hour. Thank you very much. Not this show. And just for the record, I'm a Laker fan, not a Nuggets fan. Thank you. What's up? What is going on? What's up, Mr. Hopeful? How's it going? What's up, Finn's family? Adam Sadowski, Finn's up, y'all. Definitely Finn's up. Thank you for joining. Make sure you hit the like button as you're coming in. We're waiting on Color. Yeah, so make sure you hit the like button, everybody. All right. Let's see. Here we go. So essentially, 6 teams are picking up the cap space this Friday as a result of pro- prior post June 1st designated releases. Dolphins are picking up 13.6 million, while the Browns are picking up 10.9 million. Cowboys are also pulling up about 10.9 million. Commanders are saving about 4 million. Broncos about 3.75 million, and Cardinals 3.21 million. Gives them some extra spending money. So the question is, will Dalvin Cook be a Miami Dolphin? Well, there's been some different information going back and forth. We heard that the Vikings were going to go ahead and release him as of today. Then I also heard that they, were okay keeping him. So I'm not really sure if he's officially been released yet or not. If he's been released, there's a very high chance. I'm going to say it's 50-50 right now. That's where I'm going with it. Either we sign him or we don't. I think he'd be a great addition. I think it'll unlock your running game. You won't necessarily have to worry so much about the offensive line when you have a guy like Dalvin Cook that's been successful for 4 straight years, putting up over 1,000-yard seasons, and in addition to it being very effective, even behind some of the worst offensive line in Vikings history, in my opinion. Um, it's very plausible that he could come behind our line and we won't necessarily have to need our line to execute 100%ly. You know what I mean? So that I think he would be really good. He'd be good in the passing game as well, you know. Let's see what else we got going on. Wow. Scummy, man. It's morning time and already taking shots. What's the topic this morning? Counting down until Tua is cut from the team. Oh my lord. Awful says if we get Dalvin Cook, I'm all in. I'm all in every year, man. I'm a Dolphineer. That's the reality. I'm a Dolphins fan. It doesn't matter who plays for us. So I don't care who the quarterback is. Mike White, Tua, Skylar Thompson. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm rooting for my team to win. Yes, I want whoever gives us the best chance to win to play, but if we don't have any other choice, I'm gonna root for them just the same. Doesn't matter. The guys get 5 yards per carry with no stacked box. Cook gets 5 with a stacked box. I dare teams to stack the box on. That's true. That is true. And could you also imagine? Could you also imagine having Dalvin Cook and one of our other running backs, let it be A Chain, for example, in our backfield? You could swing either one out to the slot and be part of the passing game, and it's one more thing for the defenses have to worry about. You know, Basically, when you start adding players like Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Dalvin Cook, or A Chain, you're basically creating a you're making that defense be split up into smaller and smaller group sizes because their responsibilities are going to be spread all over that you know you're just it's one more thing that they have to think about. You're dividing that defense even more. Oh man, scummy. Ah, I I taking those shots already, man. Damn. What else is going on? Let's see what else I got here. Oh, if you guys, before I forget, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, this is Finn's weekend. There might be tickets still available. But if you haven't, the 24th annual Finn's weekend is taking place. It was on hiatus for a bit. But basically, there's some stuff that they're going to be doing. They're going to have a celebration. There's a fishing event. And then there's another, I believe it's some type of nighttime celebration that is going to include one of the uh, largest group of different Dolphins players, people from the media, people from the Miami Dolphin executives, season ticket members, and various different people that are part of the Miami Dolphins. I hear it's going to be a really good time, so you can check that out. If you're not doing anything this weekend. Let's see. Man, it's what, 6:28 AM? And the Dud Fins, Michael K is already taking shots with Scummy. The blueprint is out. Tuna won't pass for more than 3,300 yards a season. I'm sorry, bro. I will bet money on that. Let's actually. I'm willing to bet some money on that. I'll bet you $50 he does do over 3,300 yards. So if you wanna accept that bet, let me know, Michael K. We'll do it. Color, do we really have you in living color?
You really got me, barely. I
Oh,
jumped in to say hi, good morning. I'm still waiting on my transfer. I'll be on the road here in a second to give you guys some heads up on the traffic up here in Palm Beach County. And it looks like the weather is good so far. You said 70% chance of rain, but man, I don't know. It's looking pretty decent, man.
you're in Palm Beach County? This is
Yeah.
Miami. This was Miami's forecast I'm looking at.
So they're gonna get what we got yesterday, huh? All right.
Yeah, I'm closer to you in a sense, so I'm
Of
gonna
course,
say
it
for us right now it's 73 degrees, with a high of 84, low of 72. Let me see
of
if
course
there's
with
anything.
about 20 days left until summer. We're already starting to get into that pattern where the weather report gets pretty easy every day. Around 3 o'clock, it gonna rain.
Yeah,
That's about it.
they're saying we have a 61% chance of rain. So, and I'm actually looking at the radar right now. There is a little something brewing to the west that might be coming over to us later on tonight.
I'm currently walking Chewy. He's doing his business,
Man, I
which he
didn't know
doesn't even,
Chewbacca got small, man. He got looked shredded. It's like
you know.
Raekwon Davis. He got all thin. What happened?
Because I got him a haircut, man. That's
Ah.
actually him.
I was making a little Star Wars pun there, bro, with Chewbacca. I don't know if you got it. So, oh, we got a bunch more people rolling in here. Let's see. Who did I miss? I could see the light. Good morning, fellas. Or good morning, guys. What's up? Fins up 74. How you doing? What's up? Welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. So I basically went over a cause for cleats, Bradley Chubb's foundation. It's called the Chubb Foundation. They're into entrepreneurship at a younger age.
Mhm.
Basically, it's teaching business and entrepreneurship and stuff like that to the youth at an earlier age, so they have a better start, going forward. That's basically what his foundation is about. Um, what else did we talk about? I brought up Finn's weekend. That's a big thing going on this weekend. There might be tickets still available. What else? We talked about June 1st and how that's such a big deal in the NFL with cuts and everything. We got about about $14.5 million in cap space now, Color. So, what do you think? You think we're going to spend it?
I mean, the fans want us to, I guess. Do we want to zero out or do we want to just hold on to that for a minute?
We could hold on to it for a minute. I expect us to do something, even if it's not bringing in a Dalvin Cook. I think we could, probably bring maybe an off left guard or a real right
But,
tackle.
you
That's an
know,
option.
shout out to Carla. Last night brought that up. And, we
Mhm.
could, 14 million bucks, we could get pepper in a couple more pieces on offensive line. But, it kind of creates the question, like, who is that? Who is that? I mean, who's out there left that we're going to bring in that's really going to make a huge difference on offensive line, other than just another body to make sure for injuries? I mean, we already got, we got to bring another guy in. We got to, maybe it's a system fit, maybe it's not. You understand
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Like, who's really out there at this point? I mean, I think
Yeah.
we're at the point where if we're going to spend money, you might as well just get the best playmakers available, one or two of them, and keep peppering in on what we got on offense.
Mhm.
I'm really excited about our defense. I think we can get our points per game against us down, and it's going to get to the point where, even with what we got, you're getting to you're going to have a hard time as a defense choosing, like you said, what do you do with the box? I mean, one way or another, you're getting burned.
Mm. Yeah, you know that's a good point.
You add a
There
guy
are
like Cook to that, even maybe us Dolphin fans, we talk about everybody. So of course we were talking about D Hop as well. You
Mhm.
know,
Now there are some names we could add to as more of a depth piece. I don't know if they would be a starter. I mean, it is possibility. A guy like the center, the guy from the Commanders, Royer or whatever, we could bring him in on the cheap possibly, and he could be
well
a better
now
backup.
we got reports of we're using Eichenberg. We're looking at Eichenberg at center. I mean, it seems to me that
That's the one.
they're
That's
holding pat on this offensive line personnel.
Yeah,
You know what I
they're
mean?
really trying to force it down our throat. I know. I mean, that's the one position I think he hasn't played on the offensive line, to be honest, and that is center. So maybe that's where he fits. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just looking at it
Well,
because,
and we got to hold the brakes too, because
mm,
it is OTAs. It is kind of like hey, if you can't see what you can do there, when can you? I mean, there is something to be said for putting a
mhm.
guy there when you can, so maybe he understands the perspective of a center, and it might help him at his own position. That maybe that's all that's going on, but.
And you're right about it. And the reason I brought up the guy from Commanders Royer is only because the fact that what's his name ended up leaving us, the guy from Wisconsin. Um, God, what is his name? Our backup center. He used to be our starting center. You know who I'm talking about?
You
Um,
mean from last year,
yeah, yeah.
Connor Williams?
No, 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 no. The guy, his last name starts with a D. I can't think of his name. That's how
Oh,
irrelevant he is.
Dieter, Michael Dieter.
Yeah, Michael Dieter left, so we don't really have a backup center now. You know what I'm saying? So that is a need. Will can Eichenberg do it? I've heard Feeney can play center, but I'd rather have him at a left guard position based on what I've seen, what he can do. To be
Right.
honest, um,
I mean, center's kind of important. So if you're going to do something on that, it's like you kind of got to do it soon, you know?
Yeah, that is correct. That's kind of why I'm kind of curious what they do. Now, I do agree with you. Having them try different stuff now is better than having them try different stuff later in the season when they're trying to figure things out. I'd rather them figure things out, what they have, what they can and can't get away with now. I'd rather have them do that now because there's enough time to be able to sign players. And do understand, just because we have June 1st cuts now doesn't mean we're not going to have more cuts towards when we get into training camp. There's always surprise training camp, cuts. There always is. So there might be more players we could bring in that way as well. But at least we have the option and we know what we have and what we're holding. You know what I'm saying? So let's see here.
Yeah, I forgot
Delusional.
to ask the most important question of the day. Still on the same coffee there from yesterday?
Oh yeah, thank you. We haven't actually. I was kind of waiting for you, to be honest. Yes, coffee of the week is still my Barismo blonde roast. If you're checking out Barismo, you can find it at your local Aldi's location, as well as
Blonde roast. Listen
Walmart.com,
to you.
as well as Walmart.com, and Amazon has it as well. One thing about Aldi's Barismo is their coffee, their whole motto is providing you a great taste coffee at a lower price, as well making sure that the farmers and people involved in the manufacturing of it is fairly paid for their work as well. So that is, basically where they get their shtick. It has been rated as one of the, as one of the in the past. It has been rated as a very good, flavorful coffee, by various outlets, as well as in my own opinion, it's one of the less what's the word I'm looking for, nuttier. It doesn't have that bitter taste, to be honest. I think it's a little bit smooth, light flavor. They use 100% arabica beans, which is a eastern bean, you said, right?
Well, I'm guessing since Arabia is in the eastern hemisphere.
Mm. Yeah, that's something maybe I should look into. I'm not a coffee
I
connoisseur, but
think that the Arabica, that's a from the word, I think it's from the word Arabia, like, or Arabic, you know what I mean? So it's, yeah,
yeah.
that would be an Eastern bean.
Hmm.
Uh, You know, a lot of your Colombian blends are going to be Western beans. You know, you got a couple French roasts that are Western beans because they grow the beans over in French Guyana.
Mm-hmm.
But so for those that aren't really into coffee connoisseurship, uh, there's pretty much just a difference. The biggest difference, you know, as far as like any schisms, there's, the beans that are grown in the Western Hemisphere. For some reason, the Western Hemisphere soil has a different acidic content, and it creates that little bit of oilier, kind of bitter taste. Some people love it to death, and I like it some mornings, you know what I mean? But there's that's just really the difference. You get that kind of deeper, richer flavor from the Western Hemisphere beans.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the reason you get, great, Cuban espresso and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that is definitely correct. What did you say you're drinking?
I'm just drinking McCafe this
The
week.
cafe.
Yeah, until it runs. I mean, I might change out before the week's out. I don't, just depends on
I'm trying to
the
give
retailer.
each coffee flavor or company that I use a full week so I can give it a proper review in a sense.
Hmm.
And so far, I like this. I've had other Barismo coffees and I actually enjoy their coffee. It's like I said, it's a lower price too. Let it be either bean coffee or the little Keurig cups, either one. Like I said, but there are a lot of other companies out there I'm going to enjoy and also do a review for. Like for example, I like Seattle's Best.
Hmm.
In color, you even said that it's not bad coffee either. The port side is the one you like, right? Port side
Actually, I go with the house blend. The port side
house
was
blend.
a little bit
House
on
blend.
the
Okay.
heavy side for me.
Okay, it's a little bit too dark,
Not dark, more like bold.
bold. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some other ones out there. I'll be doing one every week. Color can bring his own, and we'll be talking about the coffee that we drink. Um, trying to see what else is going on in the NFL. So here's a name to think about, but it's
Scummy. First thing in the morning, man.
oh yeah, he's been at
He
it
does
all
brighten the
morning.
day, doesn't he?
He's been look at all of his comments. Go back and look. The only thing that
He's
he said
begging
that
Q to come in
this,
here.
this is look at this. This is makes me wonder who Scummy really is because now he gives you a rated G comment. LB linebacker and tight end is more pressing than O line. Wow, this is like the most G-rated comment he's
I
ever
know,
said. I
right?
want to say,
He
right?
does pop in an actual take every now and then.
That's his one take for this morning. Oh man, that was some funny stuff. Shout out to everybody who's just joined. Make sure you hit the like button. Ruben Jimenez, I see you there. 341 in Cali, dude. I appreciate you. Salute to you, sir. Waking up this early to hang out with us. What's up, Lewis? V21, how's it going? Top of the morning to you. So let's see. Delusional Patriots fan is up in here. Filthy Cat 305, how's it going? I could see the light. I like that. But yeah, what I was gonna say, Color, we've been talking June 1st cuts. I talked about that and the ramifications of that. Will we address the running back? Will we get Dalvin Cook like everyone wants or not? I said it's 50-50 at this point. Either we do or we don't. That also being said, there is a name to think about when we're talking about the offensive line. But he has not been cut, nor have they said they're cutting him. Rumors have swirled that he's not happy and has called out the organization for just rebuilding the team, even though the team claims they are not rebuilding at all. And that is starting left tackle of the Packers, David Bakhtiari. And my relationship with David Bakhtiari, Color. He's of Persian descent as well as I'm Persian myself, so I root for this guy. And he's said some interesting comments about the team, and has been under some scrutiny, and there's rumors that he wants out of the Packers. Would you take a flyer on him, knowing we have Teron Armstead here? The question is, does he play
Yeah,
like
I
right?
mean the name's
Yeah.
fairly familiar. I think he shouldn't be. I think wouldn't he be an above average one? Other than why they're letting him go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's just so you know, he's a 5-time All-Pro left tackle. I don't know if he plays right tackle. I want to say he's more on the later half of his career at this point. I don't. Let me see how old he is. Let me see. Draft birthplace. He's 31 years of age. So it's do you think, I don't know. You think he'll still be expensive, or do you think he'd be
Well,
a
at 31, I can't imagine him being too expensive. That's kind of long in the tooth there. But
yeah?
you know,
Like I said, I mean, if
how's
the
his
price
ankles
is
been
right,
holding up?
that's a good question. That is a good question. Let me actually see if I have any more news about him. I was hoping they had like stats or anything like that. Let me see.
This is one of them mornings, man. I tell you, man, this is them mornings where everybody is the reason why everybody's flocking down here, man.
Tell me what's going on in the traffic stop with Color. Tell me what's going on.
I'm almost on the road here.
Okay,
I'll
let me
be able to
know.
let you know here in a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. So in the last, okay, so he had one really injured riddled season. That was 2021. He only played one game. 2022, he played 11 games. Prior to that, he was pretty consistent between 16. I think he had one season where he missed 4 games, but he's been 16 games pretty much, then 12 games, 14 games. The last 2 seasons that he's missed the most time. So, I would say based on how many years this guy's been in the league, because he's been in the league since 2013. Okay, I want to say he's probably on the later half of his career. I would sign him to like a 1-year deal. I would do it. I'd pick him up as a depth piece. What do you think?
One year, couple $1 million maybe, if that.
Yeah, I mean,
Still leaves you money to play around for Cook. So you're talking about as far as Carla's concerns go, you can pick one up and still be looking at one of the playmakers. But what do you think about Scummy's comment? Because I don't necessarily disagree. I mean, linebacker, maybe we're getting a little set there. Probably given the way Fangio does things, we're probably all right there now. But linebacker, definitely probably still a need. And of course, tight end. I know we're stacking the tight end room. A lot of that's going to shake out in camp. Who can catch, who can't, who can block, who can't.
well,
But I mean, I don't think a lot of people are impressed with every single person in our room.
That is a good question about the linebackers. We talked about that yesterday. We said that linebacker could be in need. Omar Kelly was reporting that Tyndall has been kind of invisible. He is a smaller size linebacker. So we were lacking size in the middle. You bring in Andrew Van Ginkel over there in the middle. I think that adds a little bit more size. We could very well get another linebacker. It's very, very, very possible. Tight end, I don't know. We've picked up a lot of tight ends. El Capitan actually brought up a tight end. I forgot we even signed, to be honest. That's we have quite a few. We have
Which one was that?
Well, we have Eric Stallber, and we also have Tanner Connor. But then we signed Croft. If you remember Croft.
Oh yeah, Tyler Croft. Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
a bad. And I mean,
Yeah, we
he's
have
been.
Tyler Croft. We also have what's his name? Doran Smythe. Doran Smythe. And then we also have the guy that we signed in the 6th round of the draft. The guy we got in the draft.
Right. Higgins.
Higgins,
He's
yes.
a wide receiver
So
who knows the wide receiver tree.
yeah, but they expect him to play tight end. He already came out
Right.
and said that that's what they're expecting him to
And
do.
I got that, but here's the thing: you don't ever forget what you already know. You know what I mean? And it's so, to me, he has a little bit of an advantage in the respect that, you could line him up as a fullback and he can still run that wide receiver tree from any spot he lines up on the field, and that can give you a lot more flexibility and dynamics when it comes to how you can try to fool defenses. You know what I mean? During the play, like after the snap. I mean, and he's athletic enough to run the wide receiver tree. So, you know, you pick up the tight end tree, which is actually easier to learn. It's not quite as complex. And of course, the blocking aspect, yeah, I get it. But, I can see what they're trying to do with him. I mean,
Could he be? Remember
I
how I
wouldn't
explained?
necessarily forget that he's a wide receiver, is what I'm saying. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
oh, definitely, 100%ly. And I kind of the way I'm looking at it, it's hard to train or hard to um uh convert a tight end, not really convert, I should say, but it's hard to train a tight end on the wide receiver tree. Learning the wide receiver tree, I think, is harder than learning the tight end tree. Okay, when it comes to receiving, so I can see them why they brought in a wide receiver to play tight end because one,
Yeah. I mean,
it
well, think,
allows you to do multiple different things. He could very well pick up the tight end tree very well. Blocking, yeah, that might be a question. We'll see how well that works out. Um, but I think the concept of receiving is easier for the wide receiver. Now, here's one thing I wanted to say, and to land on my point, and you can interject. I'm sorry, caller. Didn't mean to cut you off there.
oh, no
Um,
problem.
uh, remember how I was saying that we don't have a true possession wide receiver at all on this team? And when I say possession wide receiver, somebody that you can always go to 0 to 10 yards, and it's like almost instant. We've looked at teams like the Lions, like Amon St. Brown. He's your possession receiver. They're always throwing him to him from 0 to 10 yards. He's always like a for sure catch. We tried to have that in Gesicki last season. It didn't work out. He could not catch the short yardage passes if his life depended on it. All of his catches that he made that was very productive was beyond the 10-yard line. You know what I mean? So could Higgins be that guy for us when it comes to, that 0 to 10 yard possession
Sure,
go-to
sure.
guy? Go ahead.
His body is big enough to block guys out.
Mhm.
We'll see how his hands are. You know what I mean? But back to the other point about wide receiver. I mean, think about having a guy. Again, we don't know how his hands are going to shake out yet. We got to wait and see. Uh, but if his hands are even a little better than Gesicki's, you're talking about a guy like Mike Gesicki who has the ability to run a wide receiver tree a lot tighter than he was. You know what I mean? Because I know people knocked him for lack of blocking and all that, but he did have some issues, route running too. He's not the most, I mean, he's athletic, but he's not that type of athletic. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like
yeah.
he's not a Jalen Waddle athletic, the way Jalen Waddle runs his routes. We saw that video in camp. You know what I mean? Like you ain't gonna get that out of a Mike Gesicki, but you will out of a Higgins.
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely.
I mean, I can't imagine this guy having an issue getting 2 yards on anybody that's covering him.
Yeah, that's true. Scummy is saying that there's been reports out of the OTAs that the tight ends look worrisome. What do you think?
They look what?
Worried, like they're worried about tight
Worrisome,
ends.
worrisome.
He said worrying, but
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I mean, well, they're tight ends. I mean, I'm still a wide receiver in my heart, man. It's like I don't expect too much out of them on the. Now I get it. There's other aspects, blocking and all that, but it's hard to
Yeah.
say in OTAs, man. We really got to let it shake out in camp. But I'm not averse to bringing in even one more guy. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, as far as guys that have worked with good teams, you got Tyler Croft. He, maybe for whatever reason he was available, I don't know, but he's been part of some decent offenses and been a part of, been a contributor.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a slouch tight end. I don't think. I think that the Sauber guy, he's one of these guys that I think is probably a little bit untapped potential.
Oh yeah. In fact, if you remember, we saw
Right in the shades of a Dalton Schultz or a Fryermuth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's a guy I kind of have my eye on because we could see the athleticism. We saw the same thing that the draft experts saw and why he was drafted because of his extreme athleticism to get down the field quickly and smoothly and catch the ball smoothly. You know what I mean? But they say based on his size, he's more of a blocking tight end. I get that. But I can see if in the right role or right position how he can be effective. So that's a guy to think about. He's the guy I like because I think he could be that how do I put it? The tight end from 49ers. What's his name? You know who I'm
Skittles.
talking about? Skittles. No, Kittle. Kittle. Yeah, Kittle, if you go back and look at it, Kittle was not that great of a tight end prior to what they did with Kyle Shanahan. You know, he what under Kyle Shanahan and what our tight ends coach did for him is unlock his potential. We just need one of these tight ends to really unlock their potential, and we can see what happens. You know, so let's see. We have a lot of people joining this chat. Let's see who else we got up in here. Mike Gesicki was resurrected. He will be a Dolphins Slayer twice a year. Ooh, what do you think about that take, Color?
I'm sorry, I was just going over the etymology of the name Fryermuth with my German mother. Go. What were you saying?
It's okay. Michael K is claiming that Gesicki was resurrected, and he will be a Dolphin Slayer twice a year. How do you feel about
Oh,
that?
probably, but he's not gonna make or break us. I mean, he'll probably score on us and do his thing, but whatever, that's all they got.
That's if the ball can even get to them, get to him.
Yeah, I mean, and if that's all they got, I mean, hey, if Giuseppe's shredding us, then that means
Mhm.
Devontae's not. So there you go.
And C. Hofel, I think that's how we say his name, right?
It's
Hofel,
Heffel. Heffel.
Heffel. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Heffel. Um, Heffel
Yeah. Were you
says,
sleeping in class yesterday or what?
uh, dude, it's 7 a.m. in the morning almost, so we're almost to the 1 hour mark. Huffle is saying that Dalvin Cook to Miami will be similar to Marshawn Lynch to Seattle. If that's the case, I'm in. I'm in like Flynn. And this time we hand him the ball in the Super Bowl rather than throwing. So I don't know what you think about that, Color.
Yeah. Mom is also again being German. We were just bringing up Heffel now, and
Hefel.
how do you say it, Mom?
Hefel.
See, Heffel.
Heffel.
I'm sorry, man. I'm getting way off subject.
It's okay. It's all good.
It's what you get with us at the tailgate, man. Come on. Ain't no rose around here. Ain't no roses.
Man, Adam Sagowski, Gesicki is going to have a 5-yard catch his whole career versus the Dolphins.
Right.
Damn.
Like that one he had against the Ravens last year. That was like his career catch.
Definitely.
By the way, Fryermuth. If you break it up in two parts, Fryer meaning free, and Moot meaning spirit or mood. It could loosely be translated to like free spirit.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's see. So reports have come out of the OTAs that the University of Miami undrafted kid has been putting on a show a little bit. I don't know if you saw that. Let me find his name. Apologies if I can't pronounce this, and maybe you can help me, Color. Agude, Agude. Did I say that correctly?
Wait, Agude?
Yeah, Agude.
I would say, yeah, Aguda. Yeah, Agudi.
Yeah,
Or
reports
Aguda.
have come out that in certain drills, what would be sacks, he was putting on a sack fest. So that's interesting. I don't know if that's good or bad, or to be determined.
Oh, you
Maybe.
mean the almost sacks of OTAs?
Yeah, well, because they're
The
not
would have
really.
beens?
Yeah, would have been sacks. Supposedly he was putting on a sack show. So yeah, this is probably what Scummy was talking about. Other players who dropped passes were tight end Tyler Croft and rookie tight end Elijah Higgins. So because they drop passes, it doesn't look good. Look, I'd rather get that drop passes crap out of their system in the OTAs.
Okay. Now
Come camp.
everybody knows I'm not buying into the left-hand spin narrative. But when it comes to a tight end,
Mhm.
yeah, I kind of do buy into that narrative. I mean, they're not wide receivers. I don't expect them to catch the way anything thrown to them like myself, you know. So there
Mhm.
might be something to be said for getting used to the left-hand spin on it for a guy like Tyler Croft.
Yeah, it might be. Let's see. So somebody made comments about Skylar already. Um, I don't see that happening. If anyone, the way it's been the last two reports I've looked at OTAs, Mike White has not looked very good, to be honest. He was actually the worst QB from what I heard in one practice. So if that's the case, then I would expect him to be cut over Skylar, to be honest. That's what somebody had put in here, cut Skylar. I don't see that happening. In fact, I expect us to keep, now that they have the new rule color, I expect us to keep both Tua, Skylar, and Mike White. Is that your expectation or no?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't see
Probably
it.
not, but I'll go with yes.
You go with yes. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know,
was
man.
switching over to the driver's seat.
Yeah. So, hey, talk about speaking of driver's seat. How's the traffic? You never gave us the traffic report.
Traffic is actually pretty good, man. It's smooth flowing on all the side streets that I went on here up here in Palm Beach County. I drove from Forest Hill Boulevard and Jog Road over to the hospital in Atlantis, which is in near Lantana, and there was no slow up, no hold up at all, no
Hmm,
accidents, no people pulled over, all good. And again,
gotcha.
Miami traffic report without being down there is the same as it is every day. Whichever way you're going, go the other way.
And if you're anywhere around Southwest 107th Street and Southwest 180th Street, there's currently a traffic accident. Also, another traffic accident with injuries is Southwest 8th Street and Chrome Avenue. So please be careful on the roads in Miami. This is your traffic stop report with color. So.
Chop 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 chop. Yeah, where do you ever? What other morning show do you actually get a view from the helicopter, man?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what helicopter had wheels. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But yeah, man. So yeah, so today's the cut day. The truth will be told either today or by tomorrow. Maybe we'll hear something about Cook. Any predictions? We get Cook? Yes, no. Or is there something else that happens? What's your prediction?
It's feeling like we probably will, but I don't want to just fall into that mode because it's every single player that comes available, and none of them come to us. So I don't really want to say that, but there's really not a reason not to. Is why I think we might actually pull the trigger on it.
Gotcha. My prediction is, like I said, it's 50-50 on Cook. That'll either happen or it won't. But one position I think that we are going to bring in is a defensive tackle. I think that's going to happen, regardless if we resign Wilkins or not. And that's another thing. If we resign Wilkins, we're opening up more cap space on top of it. Just so you know that. So
Right, right.
we could still bring in Cook at the same time. Even with that. But the thing is, regarding like our defensive scheme, we talked about it last night on El Capitan show that we took over, which was kind of funny in the beginning. I mentioned that I see that the Dolphins' defensive line could go smaller and faster. You know what I mean? Kind of very similar to the Colts defense. No,
Well, that does tend to, create the turnovers that Fangio is known for.
Yeah, I think if they solidify the secondary, maybe that's where they're looking. There. Maybe that's why we didn't really address it, because we already know we're gonna have turnover. Maybe not this year, but next year at that position. You know what I mean? But I think speed. I think they're gonna look for speed and maybe that counts to smaller guys possibly. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. It's kind of weird why we haven't heard anything. Are you with Wilkins? Or are you not? Are you gonna trade? We do have till what, the 6th week 6 to trade him actually, so that could still happen. Who knows? You have Zach Seiler who wants to sign a deal now, and is willing. That's somebody you could definitely get on board here, but we don't really have
Well,
very
if
much.
we've got till week 6 to do something on it, barring a holdout, I don't see us doing anything on it until we absolutely have to.
That's actually true. That's true. I mean, and who knows? Maybe the Dolphins are crazy enough to not re-sign him and then franchise him the next year. That's very possible as well. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So, I don't know. There's a lot of different things they could do. Maybe they're not in a hurry, but we are. So, what else you got for us before we go to a commercial break and do the rundown? Got anything else for us?
Not right off the top of my head. Again, everything looking smooth sailing up here. It's one of those beautiful, gorgeous South Florida days, and we got the best team in football. So, feeling good.
Gotcha. So this is your 1 hour mark report. It's currently 79 degrees in Miami, Florida. Feels like 85, and the humidity is 84%. Today's afternoon showers, 71% chance of rain. In the evening, 41%. So we'll try to stay dry here. In addition to that, we're gonna take a quick break here at the 1 hour mark. And while you're hanging out, check out some of our other content that we got. We got El Capitan, Color, myself, DTA, Lewis, Shake Money, all putting out shows throughout the day. Definitely check that stuff out. Make sure you hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. Thank you. This is Top of the Tailgate. We'll be right back in about 2 minutes. So until then, chill and relax. Check out some of the other stuff in the description. If you're just joining us, please hit the like button, turn on notifications, hit like, subscribe. This is Top of the Tailgate with your host Ali in color. And we're talking Miami Dolphins. While you're hanging out, check out some of our affiliates in the description below. They got some great products, such as
New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics, officially licensed everything.
That's right. Fanatics officially licensed everything. Check out Fanatics. They got some awesome gear there. If you wonder where I get all my hats that I have, if you don't know, I collect the official NFL draft hats for Miami Dolphins. I collect one every year, and I get them all from Fanatics. Use the link below. Definitely helps out the channel. They always got sales going on. They're super fast with shipping. I literally ordered a custom jersey the other day. This was about a month ago, and I ordered it on a Friday and got it in my hand on Monday. That was literally not even 4 days later. All right, so definitely check out Fanatics. You need all your officially licensed everything there. That also being said, while you're hanging out, check out Backroom Collection. Backroom Collection has some awesome, amazing canvas artwork that you can put in any room, your office, place of business, sports room, doesn't matter. They have Miami Dolphins, other sports. They even do custom work. Check out Backroom Collection. You can save 10% off your checkout by using code TFTG at checkout. Also, while you're hanging out, check out W Energy Drink. W Energy Drink has various different energy supplements that have a lot of minerals and vitamins that effectively and positively affect the brain and help with concentration and focus, as well as they claim that they don't cause jittering or shakes or anything. Check out Shake Money's video. He has a video he put out on a review of the product. Definitely check out W Energy Drink. With that being said, Color, you still with us? Still on the road?
I am sitting in my local Denny's.
Ooh,
I was tempted to
Color.
order the moons over my hammy.
Color. When your waitress comes by, ask her what Scummy's question is. What does she think about Tua?
Oh, she probably don't really think much about Tua.
Well, we don't know. You got to ask. You do interviews.
Her name's
Interviews
Karen.
at Denny's. Karen.
That's
Her
what.
name's Karen.
No lie.
Oh, she's gonna have a lot to say. Let's not ask. I don't have time for that. This show's only going till 8. You know.
Oh, maybe they'll let me pull up and do a live spot here one day. You know what I mean? I'll talk to the manager. They love me here. This Denny's has been here for 47 years.
That's awesome, dude. That's actually a long time.
I'm 45.
Mm-hmm.
I've been coming here since I was like 6 years old, man.
Yeah. So a lot is going on. Take a break from football for a moment. How's your Cardinals doing?
You know, I haven't looked at it in a couple days. We were about 8 games under 500 the last time I checked, and fired our manager, and we're making a couple moves. It looks like we actually went on a little bit of a winning streak. We won a series against the Dodgers, and kind of looking like we're trying to actually win again and make something out of the season. So I'm gonna have a look tonight and see where we're at and see if it's something worth following for the rest of the year.
Very interesting. Yeah, I saw you guys won Tuesday, 2-1 versus the Royals. So
yeah, that's their interstate rivalry, of course. They usually do that one at least once a year.
Interesting. A lot of stuff going on today.
What do we got in the NFL going on? I mean, other news today in the NFL. Anything interesting?
No, just more cryptic tweets by DeAndre Hopkins. He put out some monkey emojis. We're not sure what those are about.
Got an article from SI why the Patriots. Yes, the Patriots will win the AFC East this year.
I don't see that happening.
That's from Andy Nesbitt over at Sports Illustrated. I want to get over there and check that article out.
Yeah, I have to check that out.
I mean, everybody knows I keep putting them in second place, and everybody all thinks I'm weird and odd for doing that, but
We'll see. We'll see what happens
I
with
ain't the
them.
only one apparently.
Yeah, well,
You
maybe
don't
he's.
ever
Maybe,
sleep on Belichick, man. Never.
oh, I agree. We shouldn't sleep on him. I don't know if that quarterback is depth enough to, or efficient enough, I should say, to actually make that happen. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man.
We'll
Maybe
see.
not last year, but I mean,
I mean,
I
then
don't know.
again, they actually have an offensive coordinator now. You know what I mean?
Now that too.
That's a big difference.
One
Last
that,
year you had,
as much as I don't like the guy, he was actually successful in his time with the Patriots.
and he was successful for a period of time with the Texans as well.
You know, if you call it that.
They had some good teams. They used to beat up on us a lot, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember when they were 8-8, and the media was like, "What do you think about your 8-8 record?" And all he was like, "We got in the playoffs. We're in the playoffs."
Oh
It's
my
like,
god.
okay,
Yeah.
just
In
can't
other
stand
news,
people like that.
Mike Garofalo is reporting that Robert Saleh said today he's very optimistic the Jets running back Brees Hall will be ready for week 1 following his ACL year last year. Saleh said Hall is already hitting 22 miles per hour on the GPS at practice. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's see here.
Cheese and the grits. Should I go with cheese and the grits?
That don't sound good.
No? Oh, it's
I don't think
excellent.
so. I'm not a fan. I don't know.
Good cheddar cheese. Don't go with American. Just go good cheddar cheese in your grits. It's pretty good.
Interesting.
You know what else is really good in your grits? Put some of that holiday sauce in there, man. That stuff's good, man.
Yeah. So, there's been, speaking of Hopkins, there's rumors that he might be, headed to the Browns. Deshaun Watson saying Tuesday that he would love to have former Houston Texans teammate DeAndre Hopkins join him in Cleveland. That'd be interesting. Hopkins, Elijah Moore, and I believe they also have what's his name, the guy from the Cowboys, the other
Amari
wide
Cooper.
receiver. They have Amari Cooper too. That would be an interesting offense. And they also have Chubb still, the other Chubb, the running back.
The other Chubb.
The other Chubb. I believe it's Chubb's cousin, by the way. I believe they're cousins. Could be wrong about that.
Get the dub with Chubb.
Trying to see what other news they got. I mean, it's slow moving today, this morning. Yesterday, it seemed like there was a lot more to talk about.
All right, so Karen,
Yeah.
you ready to show off to the whole world?
No.
No?
No.
You don't want to say hi to the Finn's Tailgate community?
To the who?
The Finn's Tailgate community. Say hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen. Good luck.
I was telling them to say hi to you.
Oh, hi to me.
Hi. That's some funny stuff. So they know you in there, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm a regular.
Nice.
I probably wouldn't eat if it wasn't for this place.
Interesting. Let's see here. Trying to see if I can find any newsworthy reporting. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. We appreciate it. Interesting. Not a lot of NFL news quite this morning yet. It's coming though. There's news about. Did you hear about the Did you hear about Shannon Sharp's partnership with Skip Bayless is coming to an end?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they basically, from what I understood, is he agreed upon a buyout of his contract, and
Oh,
that
Shannon did?
show, yeah, and he's gonna be leaving that FS1 and
Skip's such an asshole, man.
yeah,
Allegedly an asshole.
allegedly.
Yeah.
I think it's just part of the
I
show,
mean,
to be honest, but that's just me.
well, they had a little tizzy, a few weeks ago, and now all of a sudden they're not going to be, they're not going to be going forward together. That's all Skip. Same thing happened with Stephen A. Man.
Yeah, that is
It's
true.
Skip's show. It's Skip's baby, man. And no matter how much virtue signaling he does, we know it's all about Skip and his privilege. So there you go. How do you like me now, Skip?
Mm.
That's
So
why
Joe
you
Riss,
can take that virtue signaling and shove it right up where.
yeah. Joe Riss is saying that Von Miller is cousins with Booby Miles. Booby Miles. What kind of is that a good football name? Booby Miles? Color?
I mean, it could be.
Could be.
Certainly could be.
Hmm. See if there's any new Miami
Speaking
news
of
yet.
Miles, what's going on with Mr. Jack?
Hey, he's a linebacker. He's somebody we could bring in. That's a good name.
I mean, we kind of owned him last year, but
From my understanding, he's still a free agent, so.
I don't think he's having the "I suck" moniker put on him, so he may be ready to ball out again if he can.
So Alec Ingold had the orange jersey, if you didn't know. So trying to see if there's any good videos worth showing. So here's an interesting subject, Color. Most overrated player at each position. I'll give you a name, and you tell me if you agree or disagree.
Okay.
You ready? So,
or you can tell me the position, and I'll tell you who my overrated is. And this is league wide, right?
Yeah, and then I'll tell you what the consensus is, right, on what they're
All
saying.
All right.
Quarterback, most overrated player.
Most overrated?
Yes.
Ooh. Geno Smith.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Even after this past season, you're going to say he's overrated?
I don't buy that resurgence one bit.
Interesting. The consensus,
maybe Justin Fields.
Okay. The consensus is that Kyle Murray is the most overrated quarterback.
Oh, I forgot about my boy Kyler. Yeah, he's my number one too.
Yeah,
definitely
so
number one overrated.
Yeah. The next position, running back. Who's your most overrated running back?
Joe Mixon.
Okay, that's a good one. I've heard Kansas City is interested in Joe Mixon, so that might be a landing spot for him.
All I hear is, "Oh, they got Mixon, but what does he really do?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's actually funny you brought up Mixon because Mixon is their honorable mention, like the next person they said was most overrated. Yeah, so that's actually a really good one. The most overrated running back they have listed is Alvin Kamara.
At this point of his career, I'd agree.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Most overrated wide receiver.
Ooh, Odell Beckham Jr.
That's funny you mentioned that. That is the consensus that he is the most
That's their
overrated.
number one? Wow.
That's the number one. I agreed with the honorable mentions, Mike Williams or Deontay Johnson. I agree with both.
I don't know about Mike Williams. I mean, maybe production and consistency wise, yeah, because he's been off the field a lot lately. But I like Mike Williams. I think he's a real deal.
Amari. People are saying Amari Cooper.
Yeah,
Dud
he
Fins
could.
is
He
saying
did. He
Waddle.
did.
Dud Fins is saying Waddle.
Yeah, yeah. You know how I feel currently overrated. Sure.
Yeah.
And as far as the last guy you said, who was that?
Deontay Johnson, the wide receiver,
Who?
Pittsburgh.
No, before that, before Waddle.
Oh, Amari Cooper.
Yeah, Amari is not overrated in actuality. In actuality,
Mhm.
he underrates himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he is that good, but he just don't care to do it.
Some people are starting to say CeeDee Lamb is under or
Mm-hmm.
overrated. I disagree
Agreed.
with that. I don't agree. I want to say
Well,
I don't think he's necessarily overrated because the fact is that I don't really think that Dallas has really put him in the proper position to him to being that effective. You know, I saw him
that's
in
true. But
college, bro.
when
He
we
did
picked
stuff
up,
that amazed me. Go ahead.
yeah, when we
Go ahead.
picked up Cedric, though, I thought to myself, we could have taken either of those two guys and got the same results.
Interesting. Let's see what other positions they have here. Tight end.
Which I thought
Who
was
is
good,
your
actually. I'm not saying they're both bad. I'm saying I thought either one of them would have been good, and Cedric didn't turn out to. I mean, he was all right, but he didn't really do much for us. So,
who is your most overrated tight end?
Dawson Knox.
Interesting. He is an honorable mention.
Wow, who do they got
Consent.
number one? Jasicki?
No, but that is my most overrated tight end, to be honest. I'm gonna get heat for that. That's okay. I don't care. I just think he had so much more potential that he didn't put on the table. You know, we never saw it. Just
Mm-hmm.
my opinion. Tight end David Njoku, former Miami University of Miami tight end.
Yep.
They're saying is overrated.
Yep.
I don't want to
Jared Cook.
say. I do agree he has left a lot on the table that he could have still had that he didn't do, but there were games where he was the X factor when in regards to the Browns. There's games that they won specifically because of him. So I don't want to say that he's necessarily fully overrated, but I do see where they're coming from.
Mm-hmm. And who did I just say? I just had it in the tip of my brain.
They're also saying Darren Waller is overrated.
I was gonna add him, but it's hard because he might not have just been happy the past years, and all that.
It's also they've had rollover after rollover after rollover of offense because they keep changing head coaches.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that might be part of it. We'll see. We'll see what he does with the Giants, to be honest. Offensive tackle. Who's your most overrated offensive tackle?
All of them.
Well, they got Jawan Taylor, Kansas City Chiefs offensive tackle.
Yeah.
As the most overrated. Honorable mentions were Brian O'Neill, Minnesota Vikings, and Joseph Noteboom, Los Angeles Rams. Interior offensive lineman, also either a Jaguar or former Jaguar, is Brandon Scherf, is most overrated. Yeah. They also say New York Jets Connor McGovern is overrated. Actually, not Connor McGovern. I'm sorry. Blake Tomlinson is overrated, as well as Connor McGovern. Buffalo Bills is overrated. That's what they're saying. Most overrated edge rusher. Who do you have?
Miles Jack.
Does he play edge? I thought he was the middle linebacker.
I don't know, but isn't he the one that has the tombstones in his yard?
I don't know.
For quarterbacks?
Maybe. I don't know if he actually has that or not.
All right. So one of your edge rushers.
Go ahead.
A lot of them are pretty good. I can't really think of an overrated one.
The consensus is, and this is not a good thing, Dolphin fans, Bradley Chubb is the most overrated edge rusher according to this report.
Yeah, I could see that.
Other overrated edge rushers, which is kind of surprising, Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa.
Oh yeah.
And Joey Bosa are considered to be overrated.
I wouldn't say Joey Bosa, but I'd definitely say Khalil Mack. I think John Gruden has been 100% vindicated on that trade.
He hasn't done very much since, to be honest.
Nope. And Gruden knew it.
Yeah, that's true. Next position is defensive tackle. Do you have a defensive tackle that you think is the most overrated?
Gosh, I can sure give you an underrated one. That's easy.
Yeah.
Overrated? Gosh, yeah. I don't know.
The honorable mentions, I'll tell you who they are. They're Leonard Williams, New York Giants, and Devon Hamilton out of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Right. See, they're struggling too. They just picked two guys nobody's ever heard of.
Dominic Sue, do you think he's overrated?
Well, he's kind of not rated at all right now.
In fact, I think he's working for either NFL or ESPN, one of the two.
He is listed as a free agent.
Yeah. Their most overrated is Dalvin Tomlinson, Cleveland Browns. Here's an interesting name, and Michael K will probably agree since he's claiming that he didn't want this guy. Most overrated linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds. That's what they're saying.
I could go with that.
What about?
I don't want to throw shade on one of the Edmonds or nothing, but
yeah. Other honorable mentions included Jerome Baker and Shaq Thompson. I do agree with Jerome Baker. I think he's a little bit overrated.
Mostly by El Capitan.
Maybe a little. You're right. I think you're
right.
Well,
I was just begging him to jump up here, ain't I?
Yeah. Cornerback Trevon Diggs is considered the most overrated corner.
Interesting.
He
did kind of flame out real quick, didn't he?
Yeah, that's true. J.C. Jackson out of the Chargers is considered honorable mention, along with Dante Jackson, Carolina Panthers. Here's a good one. Safety. Who's the most overrated safety?
Oh. That's a good one.
I will tell you, in my opinion, I agree with the consensus, and he used to play in the AFC East.
Who do they got?
Jamal Adams.
Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks. He used to play for the Jets, if I believe correctly. If I'm correct about that. That's where he got drafted. But I think he is overrated.
There really hasn't been a lot of standout safeties in a while, man.
That's true.
Other than ours.
The other honorable mentions were Amani Hooker and Justin Reed.
All right, yeah. I can think of some guys, but I don't know if they're corners or safeties.
Definitely.
Like Greedy's a corner, right? Greedy Williams?
Yeah, I think he is.
Well, there you go. You got my answer for cornerback.
Trying to see if there's any news, big news that dropped or anything. Color, you're doing your coffee show after this?
Not yet today, just because I'm not in position to. But I should be able to go with it tomorrow.
Okay, so starting tomorrow, you're going to be transitioning to your coffee show afterwards.
We will be segueing right out of this show into coffee and a cup of color to supplement Ali's morning. And keep the great content going for you guys.
Definitely. I'm looking for news, bro. There's nothing really. There's a lot of soccer news going on, but nothing really major with the NFL. So,
did the NBA finals start up yet?
that's coming. Let me see what day that starts. I want to say maybe tonight or tomorrow, but I could be wrong about that. Today at 8:30 p.m. Miami versus Denver. I believe they're at Denver. I have Denver winning game 1. No offense, Miami Heat fans. I just think the game 1's going to be taken by Denver. The style they play, in addition to the fact that it's in Denver, it's different to play in Denver than other places, to be honest. So, also, if you didn't hear yesterday, the Detroit Pistons have hired and agreed with a 6-year deal with Coach Monty Williams as their next coach. That's kind of big news in NBA. And for Miami Heat fans, I believe today's Duncan Robinson's birthday, I believe. I read that somewhere. So happy birthday to him. Shout out. Any news in college football world? Good.
We got the recap of Mike McDaniel's press conference yesterday. I can go ahead and relay the crux of the presser. It's like, so there you go.
Oh man, that's some funny stuff, man. That is some funny stuff. So that's basically the interview. A bunch of ums, yeah, and that.
Hey, I'm hungry. Hey, I like it.
Uh-oh, Color's getting flirted with. You had to go on mute. Let's actually see if I can find that interview. Maybe I'll play that. Let me find that real quick. Yeah, actually, let's see what he has to say here.
I just want to say that steak was absolutely fantastic.
You had a steak this morning, huh?
Yeah, steak and eggs.
Yeah.
Steak and eggs is pretty good, actually.
Well, they've got the seasonal promo going on right now. They got the sirloin steak and eggs for $9.99 at Denny's.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I've had it, to be honest.
Yeah, and the cut of steak is probably worth a little more than $10, in my opinion. It was really, really good.
Definitely. Oh.
I'd have paid $15 for the steak alone.
So it seems like a lot of people are making changes, bro. You got Skip and Undisputed coming to an end, and then you got Pat McAfee, I believe, going to ESPN, I believe. But supposedly he's going to be still on YouTube through ESPN, so I don't know how that's going to work with some of his content.
Wow, ESPN going 360 degrees, huh? 180 degrees.
I mean, because being the fact that he had a YouTube channel, it allowed him a little bit more freedom to speak his will, if you know what I mean. So,
well, I was gonna say, it seems like First Amendment's coming back. Isn't Pat McAfee a little too toxic for ESPN's what they got going on there? You know?
Yeah, this is true. Here, color. I'm actually gonna be able to play the presser to actually have it here. We're gonna review this, and then we'll get to final thoughts after this. I think this is about 20 minutes.
Final thoughts already? Dang.
Hey, it's a 2-hour show, man. It's a 2-hour show. So let me share this. Present. All right. Let's actually see what he had to say one more time. We probably went over this yesterday, but let me go over it myself. Here we go. Actually, hold on. I got to do the one thing. I forgot to do it real quick. Share screen. What's going on?
Noob.
Oh, what do you say?
Noob. Being noob.
I was told Dalvin Cook would be a Dolphin by now. Some of you have to stop listening. The voice on the other side of the glory. Oh my god! Did we? But speaking of that subject, regarding what Noob said, some of us have to stop listening. Did we find Amicus last night?
No.
Is he okay?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to make a joke if there's something really going on, but
yeah, I'm kind of worried. Amicus supposedly, people were saying prayers to him and everything, and then there was some shrewd comments similar to what Noob just said. So I kind of want to know what the heck's going on with him. So, anyway,
don't ever know with them shady Buffalo fans, man.
That's true. You never know. I'm gonna play this video. Let me know if you can hear the audio.
0 to 60 from when I first got here.
All right.
No one was talking to each other. You guys were all immersed in your phones. Yeah. Yeah, no. There's a lot of ice in this room, but
we are the best.
Did he just say there was a lot of ISIS in this room?
We actually hang out together.
Finally, we agree on something.
Oh, wow.
Like obviously, no two players are alike, but generally with the skill set that was lost with Mike Gesicki in terms of a seam threat at that size, someone who can rise in the red zone to catch. Who on this roster do you think can compete to fill that role? What names come to mind?
No, there's you're hitting on something that there's some opportunities within the offense to put your imprint on your career and for this team. I wouldn't say it's just tight ends, but really all skill receivers. There's a lot of competition. So the really as the head coach of the team, I'm most excited to see who wins it because it is as organic as one could make it. There's several capable candidates to catch some balls really and be an impactful part of this team. I would say at all the offensive skill positions, and the proof is in the pudding. You go out there to practice, and there's a good amount of talent. So for me to say that I know who that's going to be would be being way ahead of there's some sort of saying that I'm looking for. Boom. Barry still got it.
So basically, he didn't really give out any information from what I understood, Color. He basically said that he's excited for everybody, and there's a lot of different skill position players, and he doesn't want to put out anything until they,
What I heard was if you win the job if you can catch the ball. That's what I heard.
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of. But who doesn't win the job if they can?
But it's more to the thought that it's the orientation, it's the attitude that we're taking. It's pass offense, bro. Mm-hmm. If that don't further drive it home with a statement like that, like you make this team if you can catch the ball. You know what I mean? Like that should tell you everything about what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Noob is on it. 7:45. Still no Dalvin.
Let's continue this interview and see what else he had to say. So I think that there's a lot of young players, some veterans that recognize the opportunity and really going after it.
Like it looked like Tua had one of those little helmets on his, one of those little counters on his helmets. Can you tell us about the benefits for that and relative to you guys working together on progressions and whatnot?
Oh, so that's a tool that has been around in the league and in different avenues and different organizations. I can remember since the teens of the 2000s, and for
Sure,
us,
makes sense.
it's multifaceted. Again, it's not like anything earth shattering. It's a camera, but it does have audio, and I think some of the the strong attributes of that technology are that you get to hear play calls. You can library those play calls for players to hear when they're studying. This just in, the National Football League huddles. A lot of college and high schools don't, which means you're taking in information auditorily for the first time with many minimized reps, and then you're not, as opposed to looking at the sidelines for a signal or a picture. So auditory, it's a tool. It's also something that you can, see from his side eye what he's looking at. So for all quarterbacks, it's a tool to help really drive home certain coaching points and just see what they're seeing to be on the same page as the player.
So, Color, it's kind of funny. There's that word we've been talking about. He just used the term auditory, which goes into audible and all other words that we've been talking about for the past month. Did you notice that? You know what I mean? We've been talking about vocalization as well as seeing, and communication is basically the key here. For me, him wearing the camera, to be honest, I think it's a good thing in the sense of showing him what he needs to look for. Maybe they can see what he's looking at as well as show him what he needs to be looking at. What do you think, Color?
Yeah, absolutely. It can't hurt. The tech, they know that it's like an old saying we used to have on the job site, on the construction site. Like the technology is there. We have the technology. You know what I mean? It's not like he said. It's not that earth shattering. I tend to think that he's like me in some regards, where he sees how the media makes things out like, oh, it's this big thing, and he's probably sitting there. Are they really doing that? Like, it's just a camera. He made sure to get his shot in at the media. Like, it's nothing earth shattering. It's just a camera.
It's been around forever. Well, he isn't wrong. I've actually read other players.
Those are the times when I actually, like, he ingratiates himself to me, because I would say the same thing. I'm like, what are you talking about here, guys? It's a freaking camera. How do you think you can use it?
Yeah, I guess it should be self-explanatory. For me,
right.
I think they're using it just like I said. They're seeing what he's looking at, and then they'll go back and review the film with him and like, look, you passed your head right past this read here. This is what you could have looked at as well, or you should be looking this way rather than that way. You know what I'm saying? It would be a teaching tool, essentially.
I think that he probably gets, like, not frustrated, but he probably feels the same way a lot of us do about how the media like makes a story out of everything. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, let's continue.
Is there anything in relation to concussions that could help, if any? If seeing his head movement, where it might go, or things that might maybe forecast the play that he might have got himself into that.
Oh my God, are they really asking if this camera is going to help him with concussion? Like, if his head went this way, maybe he should have his head go that way. Is that kind of like the question?
You see, that's precisely what I'm talking about right there.
Oh my God.
I mentioned it, and sure enough, if the media didn't come right in to give an example for Color, you know what I mean? Wow.
Oh my God. Look, when you're getting hit, and I've been tackled before, do you really have control of which way your head's going? I mean, like, you gotta have some really strong mid-air, like.
No, it's just a virtue signal, bro. It's, I asked the question about the concussion. Oh, look at me.
Oh my Lord. Yep. Waste of time.
last year?
Well, I think preparation is the best thing that you can do for all players in regarding executing your jobs and while protecting yourself. Outside of that, you got to get a hold of one of those see the future cameras. Then it would be extremely helpful if you knew where the players were going to be.
Yeah.
See, that just
If you're
tells
gonna
you he's
ask-
got way more patience than me, bro. You know what I mean? That was, he slides in with a joke about it. He's like, "Yeah,
But that's the
we
whole
need
point.
one of those. We need one of those see the future cameras."
Yeah, basically he's like, "Oh, I see your absolutely absurd and ridiculous question. I'm gonna give you an absurd and ridiculous answer." You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, that's how it goes. Stupid questions get stupid answers.
Oh my god, let's keep going.
But I think for all players, when they are when they're in the right time of their learning process, where it's not too much on the front end, where you're swimming in too many variables of information, but when you're ready, added information, added articulation through our problem solving only benefits the player and the team for the ultimate result. So information and tools are not the end all be all by any stretch, but I think it does help us to get or to become really the best football team and best players and the best coaches that we can be, which is really how I see our jobs.
See, if I was him, I would have went 100% all in on the joke. I would have been like, "You know what, guys? You're right. We're going to the Super Bowl now."
Oh man, that would incite a riot, Color. Let's keep going.
You know, I mean, what did they expect him to say? Like, no, it's gonna hurt us. You know what I mean? Like, of course it's gonna help.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like, oh my lord. I honestly think it's almost like the media has become kind of like the movie industry. They have run out of ideas and questions to ask. You know what I mean? In a sense.
God, ain't that the truth?
Yeah, like with movies today, like all they're doing is remaking the old stuff and rehashing it. And at the same time, the media is like, we don't have any news. This is like, I got to ask some absurd question to like manipulate news. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's basically what's going on here. Let's keep going.
A lot of things factor into it. I think that, by and large, players, coaches, people in general do best when why is explained to them. In this particular situation, I think that it is crucial that we have, is convicted, present, deliberate football players when they're approaching practice, and really recognizing how each opportunity is very, very crucial to the development of the team. I think when you're able to acknowledge players' hard work and they get positively reinforced with actual action, you can. I think it goes a long way. They are afforded the less practices because they've earned it because of the way they've approached the whole off season. My standards for preparation are pretty high, and they've recognized that and really heeded to the expectation across the board. So I think in those types of circumstances, everyone benefits with a little bone here or there.
But you've got a regular fixture courtside at Miami Heat games, but you're also a Colorado native, and the Denver Nuggets would be your hometown team. So I'm wondering, where is your allegiance going into these?
How did you know that I was courtside?
Everyone can see it.
Oh, I wish I would have known that. It's funny. I will not deny that, I've been a football coach my entire adult life. I was born and raised in Denver, and cheered for the Nuggets forever. Had a fan plan in 1994 that they packaged games, and we picked the package that Jordan was going to play, and he retired. It was my mom's entire bonus. And so, yeah, I've been invested, and they've had a really cool journey. It's a cool franchise, but I'm an only child, and I myself am a father to an only child. So this is going to be totally forecasting, but I feel comfortable doing it because I'm blind. The Kelseys went through it. I imagine it being like a parent with a couple kids where, of course, you love all your kids, but don't you love one more? And realistically, when it comes down to it, the stuff that I've been able to really get access to with the Heat coaching staff led by Spo last summer, getting to know them, following their journey, and getting to know the people, become extremely invested so I don't lose any sleep by saying, you know what, Denver Nuggets, why don't we wait 48 years? Not 47. So that's kind of where I stand on that. But really, I think it's really cool. It is odd that you're the two teams you probably follow as close as anything. You're rooting for one, and somebody has to lose. But I'm really excited in particular for just the finals in general, because I think it represents.
Okay, so is he saying, correct me if I'm wrong, Color, but he is basically saying that, yeah, he grew up as a Denver Nuggets fan, but now that he's in Miami, he's kind of adopted the Miami Heat as a child, and
Kind of what it sounds like. Sounds like a bandwagoner to me.
It kind of sounds like he's trying to stay neutral as possible, basically.
Have a good day.
Because he just said, hey, what's waiting one more year? You know what I mean?
Right. Sounds like he's a big-time Denver Nuggets fan based on what he said about,
Trying to dodge questions. And people are calling me a Denver Nugget fan. This guy's more of a Denver Nugget fan than I am. Come
Hey,
on.
I mean, we all know he's a new head coach. Own it, bro. Nobody's going to kill you for being a Nuggets fan.
Yeah, no
I
one's
mean,
gonna kill you.
he did grow up in Denver. I mean,
Definitely. Let's keep it going.
Presents both teams in the finals represent what's really cool about sports, because they have had to scratch, claw, fight tooth and nail to get in the position they're at in their own respective journeys. And so I have no doubt in my mind that both fan bases, both teams, no one's going to take anything for granted. We're going to have elite schematic coaching from both sides, and you're going to have to earn whatever comes here. So I think from a sportsman perspective, it's as cool as it gets, and I'm excited to see what the Heat can do.
You go to these games. Are you
the old good for the sport speech, man.
Yeah, good for the sport. It's just what's that term? God, it's a cliche answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could also say it was very amicable.
Yeah, amicable. I wanted to see what that last question was. Let's see what it said.
You go to these games. Are you going purely for entertainment purposes, or is there stuff you can bring back from a football perspective to kind of show to the team and relate the two things?
I think there's information in front of us all the time that can be very beneficial to what we do on a day-to-day basis, just in general. Every day, if you're willing to look and listen. So you don't know what is going to come about. But the bottom line is when you go to those games, you're where would you rather be if you're in professional sports, in terms of you have high stakes, a lot of sweat equity has gone into those moments a lot more than, I still have a tough time imagining how many up and downs and, shuttles and how many practices and shoot arounds that basketball teams go through, and how long that season is, and how many practices that hockey teams have to get on the same page. That stuff is what really is impactful for me in those moments. And I think without a doubt, there's great stuff to take away that can be applied in what we're trying to do.
Mike, it was
What are your
reported yesterday.
takeaways from your
Man, I was, I was kind of kidding, like not quite kidding, but I was kind of like took a shot at the media in regards to they're running out of ideas, but now you're trying to connect basketball to football. I understand like there is something to learn based on their preparation and what they have to go through and practices and stuff like that. But what much can you learn from? I mean, I don't know, Color. I mean, what do you know? Like, what would we know? We're really
Yeah, I know.
novices here, but
It really seems to me like they're trying to give him as many opportunities as they can to say, "Oh, look how cool you are." You know what I mean? Like, what is it like? Okay, yeah, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
basketball shoot-arounds. I don't know how that could benefit an NFL coach other than what? I mean, really?
That's true.
Like, I would just refuse to answer the question. I'd be like, "Do you have any football questions?"
Definitely. What's up, Shake? I see you in the chat. Beautiful day in Zamunda. What's up, man? I'm gonna go ahead and continue here.
with Eric Spoelstra? He's still only 52, and yet makes the playoffs very consistently, makes the NBA Finals on a pretty regular basis. What are your takeaways and what makes him as successful as?
Well, first and foremost, I feel I feel so humbled to be able to have the relationship. I think what screams to me, just the way he runs the program and what they do, is there's a passion for developing players and coaching, and a standard for with they believe that they should prepare their players. I feel a true love for who they're coaching and what they're coaching, and I think systematically, when people describe the Heat culture, they're talking about a bunch of individuals that are trying to be great in the game of basketball, players and coaches alike, and it's. I feel so fortunate. I think he has to be one of the best professional coaches across all sports. And for me to have access to pick his brain, to, he even throws me a handshake after wins. Like, it's unbelievable resource for me in the coaching profession that I feel very, very fortunate to have.
It was reported yesterday that the team is going to be having another set of joint practices with the Texans.
But is he teaching you any new screens?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest takeaway for me, if I'm a professional coach, this is my opinion. I'm not a professional coach. I don't know really how that works, but in my opinion, a takeaway that I could get from being around a coach of a successful organization such as the Miami Heat or another team, it doesn't matter. I think you could learn about how you can instill philosophy and help your players develop, not just as a team, but as the continuity of things
And the culture and setting the right culture and leading men. That's really the job of the head coach is to lead men.
Yeah. And those are the takeaways that I could see him getting from going out to other sports, let it be basketball or hockey or even soccer, for example. You know what I mean?
Especially one that's done it on a championship level, because the one thing that is similar is the stage. Like when you're on that big stage, the level of pressure, that kind of stuff, that stuff can translate across all sports for sure.
Yeah, and the other thing is you have to think about in a sense there's more pressure because we only have to do it for what 17 weeks and couple weeks, like 4 weeks in the playoff, you know what I'm talking about? So that's all the NFL has to worry about as an NFL coach. But in the retrospective of NBA or hockey or even baseball, the baseball is a good one. You have to do it for such enduring long period, week after week, multiple games a week, in fact. You know what I mean? There's so much more involved to
Yep. And
not
and
just now hold on, color, hold on.
sure.
Not just to instill your philosophy and culture, but to maintain it. That is
Hmm.
the big thing. Maintaining that idea and mentality, even through loss and low times of the season. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead,
Or in
color.
low times during each series too, because when you're talking about in the playoffs, and this goes for baseball management too, you
Mhm.
know, or even hockey, when you're talking about you know, the games in the playoffs and the games in general are done in a series, you know, and you know, there's times when you'll have a team. I've noticed this in baseball as well as basketball, where you know the team will be down 3-1 in the series, or 3-2, or
Mhm.
2-1, and everybody's, oh, this and that. And you know, they it's not that, I mean, even 2-1's not hard to battle back from.
Mhm.
But when the team ends up winning the series, and the coach gets vindicated as this great and all that, everybody looks back. It always seems like they knew they were, like, it was going to go the way it was.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, you all just realize, you know, the patience was there. We're down 2-1, but I, as this great coach, expected it to go exactly this way. And we know they didn't. We know that it was just as much pins and needles for them in their own mind as it is anybody else. But on the other end of it, coming out of it, when they end up winning, it's like, it almost seems like they knew it was going to go that way. We knew
Mhm.
we were going to be down 2-1. Everybody just
Mhm.
relaxed and did their job, and the numbers fell where they fell. You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
not really the case. They just are that good, and that, you know, they're able to compartmentalize that pressure so well that it just seems like they're, everything that happens, even the negative stuff, it seems like they meant or knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's keep going. We're gonna go one more question, color, before I shut this down, and it's already past our 8 o'clock hour. So let me let's continue this. I want to just get one more question in here, okay?
Sure thing.
All right.
That I feel very, very fortunate to have.
Like, it was reported yesterday that the team is going to be having another set of joint practices with the Texans, specifically, having practice sessions with Coach Noel and D'Amico Ryans. What do you think the team can gain from that?
Yeah, I wanted to break the news to you guys last time I was up here, but gave the opportunity to a friend and somebody I feel fortunate to have coached with and been around for such a long time, in D'Amico Ryans, and he just turned it down like the humble guy he is. So, so we pumped about that. That's a young, hungry team that will afford us the opportunity of getting better in training camp. Those type of opportunities are invaluable. It breaks camp up. It gives a little newness to it. It reinvigorates it, but it also, there's only so much scheme that one side of the ball can have. And you get different players that you have to go against, and subtle schematic nuances that are different that really help the players get prepared for preseason and then regular season.
Like things you've noticed about A, Cam Smith so far, and B, Devon. Obviously, speed stands out, but if you wouldn't mind taking each of those two individually.
I think both of them have done exactly what's been asked of them to this juncture, which is, I think it's along the process. There's so much going on for rookies. You forget that you're joining a team that has established players, and you need to make way on that team through the locker room and then the coaching staff, just the building in general. That's what I've seen them focus on, and I can tell they're starting to become one of the guys. You are swimming at this stage, and that's to be expected. But I also see from those two in particular, guys that have a deep down self-confidence that the minor hiccups in the short term aren't really affecting them, which is something you look for in young players, because there's a lot. I mean, it's almost like you're a baseball player. You bat like 30%, or 300 for the the real fan. You bat like 300. That means 7 out of 10 times failure. That's kind of like being a rookie. So so far so good in that. I think you have to win over your teammates before, at least with the Dolphins, before you're able to play with them. And I think they're knee deep in that journey, and I've been happy with what they've produced.
Like they say that for the human brain, moving and starting a new job are two of, I think, the 5 most stressful things you can go through. Obviously, when you get here, you got to hit the ground running, focused on the job. But how have you allowed yourself to acclimate to, I guess, the new environment outside of work?
Man, moving, new job. Wow. No, I think it's been cool to kind of, it's one of the reasons that it's so awesome for me to go to the,
Haven't we already heard this question before? You know what I mean? They're like really fishing for those straws,
Yeah,
Color.
didn't they
To the
ask?
point.
Right? Didn't they ask this one while he was still on the Learjet?
Yeah, when he got hired. I mean, they asked him this question so many freaking times. How many times does he have to answer it? Look, when it comes down to it, it is good to see us split our camps up and have joint practices. I do agree with the premise of using it. I think it gives you an idea about your team and their preparedness when it comes to being battle tested, as well as how they react to different schemes that they haven't seen before. So it kind of keeps them fresh on their toes. I do agree with that. So I kind of like the fact that I think it's good that we're practicing against someone like the Texans. I think the Texans is a good team to do that against. Now, also with that being said, um, I don't know. Answering questions in regards to Cam Smith and Delvin A. Chain, or Devon A. Chain. I'm sorry. Yeah, of course they're going to be new. Of course they're going to be swimming and stuff. But I'm glad to see that he said that he sees them already becoming a part of the team and part of the group and guys and everything. That was good to hear. What do you think, Color?
Yeah, absolutely. And I got cut off a second ago, so I lost my train of thought rolling into my neighborhood. But yeah, I mean, come back to me because I got to get back.
Okay, Color is going to be coming back here momentarily. Essentially, for me, is I'm glad that they're already taking the initiative, not just on the field, but in the locker room. They understand that they have a job to do in making this team, and obviously, we have a very good they have a higher chance of making this team versus other players
Right.
that we brought in. But I think ultimately, it kind of sounds like they're saying that they already have their head on their shoulders when it comes to the business that they have to take care of.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's
Yep.
basically what I'm understanding.
I remember what I was before I got cut off. It was about the
Mhm.
joint practice. I was going to make a quick comment about that. There is something to be said for it. It tends to be a little easier to bust somebody in the mouth when they're not your teammate and your comrade. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you go for weeks of trying to hold back. You got to perform, but you also are going against your teammate ultimately.
I think
At
it
some
doesn't.
point, you want some fresh meat that you don't care about the bust in the mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I also think what it does is it kind of sets the tone and instills that, or it how do I say it? Reignites that that desire for competition. Do you understand what I'm
Right.
saying? Because now I don't have to go half speed or 80% or 70%, whatever it may be, against
Exactly.
this guy.
I
I
don't
can
have
go
to pull punches.
100%. I don't have to worry about, if I smoke your ass, how you're going to look or whatever. I don't need to worry about my friends looking good. I'm here to make you look bad. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You
That's
don't have
kind
to
of,
pull any punches.
yeah. And
It's not a sparring match.
yeah, and I think it sets the tone for the upcoming season. So that is my thought process on, when it comes to A Chain and Cam Smith. In addition to that, what I was also kind of getting at is that if you look at last year's draft pick, Tyndall, they're already saying the guy looks invisible out there. It doesn't really look, and we didn't really see him very much last season, and you didn't hear too much in the sense of him instilling himself in this defense or as the group of the guys at all. You know what I mean? But we're already hearing it with Cam Smith and A Chain. You're already seeing video out there of what he's doing and whatnot. So that's kind of interesting. It kind of
Right.
is a different perspective of it. Did you have any other comments about the presser? I know we didn't finish the whole thing, but time is pressing.
No, it was, a lot of, I mean, it's June 1st minutia, you know what I mean? But I think there's a couple of things we got good to hear, and seems like we're on.
You're cutting out, Color.
How about now? Everything good?
You're good now.
Okay, yeah, I just switched over to my Wi-Fi. But yeah, I mean, it seems like we're on track. It seems like McDaniel is poised to go into his second year, with a lot of things to look at.
Oh, we lost. Oh, there he is. Keep losing you, bud. Are you back?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I'm here.
Go ahead.
But it seems like he's already on, there's a lot to correct from last year, and it seems like he's already on top of those things. So,
yeah,
the guy, look, the guy with all the rhetoric and whatever, the way he talks and, and all that, how it is. It does speak to his level of intelligence, though, and I've always been encouraged by what looks like a highly intelligent person. So, we can criticize here and there mistakes made, this and that, but there is no doubt in my mind that the stuff we've been talking about all off season, that could be landed at his feet. I have no doubt in my mind that a lot of that stuff will be corrected. I mean, the guy is a very smart person, just in general. And
absolutely, I do agree with that.
Football is 90% mental, man, and for a coach, it's probably 100% mental.
That's actually 100% correct. I agree with that. For me, I'm kind of I like that. I like how he kind of wavers the waters when it comes to the media. You know what I mean? He doesn't buy into their BS or their narrative that they want to, portray or whatever. He gives them just enough, but not more than what they need, to run with it. And he basically answers it, but also doesn't give out too much information. You know what I mean? And I like that because you're controlling the narrative and you're not having to worry about, oh, I let that slip and create some controversy or I think what I'm trying to say is I think he handles the media a lot better than most rookie head coaches. You understand what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to, like, for example, making rookie mistakes in certain calls or timeouts, yeah, that's everybody. Everybody's going to have that their first year. You know what I mean? So, but I think he's handling it pretty well, just my opinion. Is that what you're trying to say? What you think?
Yeah, because the guy is intelligent. So, I mean, it's a given that he's intelligent. So, that, maybe I'm making more out of it than it is, but the guy, I mean, he doesn't seem like he's not. So, when it comes to even things like, I can imagine him going back and watching games, not just film, but games, like the way we watch them. And I can imagine him sitting there watching some of his play calling, thinking the same thing as we did, and writing that down. Why did I call a run play right there in that situation? Why did I continue to do that or this or the other in that situation? You know what I mean? And taking action, obviously, to correct those things has to be done, and we have to wait and see. But I just don't. The guy doesn't give me the impression that he's selfish or not willing to adjust or whatever the case may be. He smells his own stink.
That's true. Definitely 100%, Colin. Well, great show so far, Color. Got any final thoughts before we shut this down? And we're at the 8:21 mark. Usually we go till 8 a.m.
Only final thought I have is, at the end of the day, it is what it is, which is that it's the evening. And so you have to take that into consideration, because guys have to have their evenings.
That sounds like a Mike.
That was my Mike McDaniel impression for the day. Everybody, keep driving safe. Keep a distance behind the person in front of you. And the traffic up here is going smoothly, slowly but steady. No accidents all over the place. Keep it going. Use your right hand blinker and be safe, everybody.
Definitely. And while you're, while this show ends, check out our other content. We got El Capitan with doing shows every other day of the week. You got Color, and some of the stuff that he's done, some of the stuff I've done. I got Broken Takes, Late Night Exhale. Late Night Exhale's coming back. It's not gone. It's just on pause for right now. And we're going to be doing morning show Monday through Friday. So tomorrow's show as well. And also, Color, you're going to be doing your coffee stuff tomorrow, right? Afterwards?
I should be good to go tomorrow to continue. And we had planned that we're just going to segue this show into another 2 hours, and we'll be supplementing with coffee and a cup of Color.
Rock and roll. That's right. And you can check out some of DTA stuff. He's on furlough right now. Lewis, the Rabbit Dolphin, and Shake Money doing shows all over the place. Rock and roll to them. Make sure you check out their stuff. Hit like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. Definitely. We appreciate everything you guys do. The comments, everybody. Oh, Dalvin Cook news. There's Dalvin Cook news? Is there?
Dolphin Don usually doesn't throw around funny stuff, so I would check it, see what's going on.
Dolphin Don, tell me what the news is. What's the news? I don't see nothing yet. I haven't gotten any notification yet.
He could have been shouting to us, "One more round, please. One more check before we go."
I'm actually looking right now. I'm checking all my texts. See if there is anything. No, I don't see nothing yet. I figure it'd be blowing up my phone.
And boys over at Barstool need to get on the ball, man. Is it too early? I'm already taking shots, man. What's up with that? Nah, congrats, bro. Congrats, Nicky Smokes. We see you, buddy. Good job, man.
Yeah. Oh, Dolphin Don's like, he has not signed with the Dolphins yet. Oh man, this backfired. No. I don't expect signing like that to happen right away. I think that's gonna. It'll probably be within this week if it were to happen. But
I think they get a certain amount of enjoyment out of taking everything slow in these issues,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is what it is. We'll see what happens.
They're not on our time schedule. Let's face it.
That's true. That's definitely true. But
Greer's probably with his kids at the Grand Canyon right now. You know what I mean? Like, not even thinking of this nonsense.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. But anyways, make sure you hit like and subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow, first thing, 6 a.m. in the morning. This is Top of the Tailgate. And with that, we give you adieu.
Yeah.